Today, from Soldier Field in Chicago, it's the New England Patriots versus the Chicago Bears. Brought to you by Mazda and the full line of sophisticated Mazda products. By Old Milwaukee and Old Milwaukee Light. It doesn't get any better than this. And by Radio Shack, a division of Tandy Corporation.
The New England Patriots have come to Chicago, led by their young quarterback, Tony Eason from Illinois, a rising star. But today, he has to contend with the overpowering Chicago Bear defense. At Soldier Field, home of the Bears, number 34, Walter Payton, is still the cornerstone of the franchise as game after game. He has it to his all-time rushing record with power and quickness, running for what again is one of the NFL's best teams. Good afternoon, everyone, on a beautiful day in Chicago. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. The New England Patriots have a tough assignment today. They go against a Chicago Bear defense that is best described as fierce. Trump, before the season started, Mike Ditka said to those defensive players, I want you guys to put a chip on your shoulder in July and don't take it off till January.
Well, the Bears have had a chip on their defensive shoulder for about the last 50 years. But in 1984, they terrorized the NFL with a league record 72 sacks. Now, the brainchild of Buddy Ryan, this defense is called a 46. On this play against the Tampa Bay Bucks, 9 guys within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. And this is not an isolated situation. The New England Patriots will have to face this about 80% of the time today. And, of course, the Patriots last year gave up 66 sacks. And the offensive line is hurt. This is an awesome responsibility and challenge for the New England Patriots offense.
The Patriots do some sacking also. Ask Lynn Dickey, the Packers, they got him 7 times last Sunday. Excellent conditions to play football. Temperatures, you see, 63 degrees on the shores of Lake Michigan in this stadium that was originally built in 1919. The site of some great events. The Dempsey-Tunney fight that hit a $2.5 million gross in 1927. Tony Franklin is ready to kick the ball off now for the Patriots in their red and white. The Bears have people back. Sprinter Ken Taylor is back. Here's a spinning kickoff. It's Dennis Gentry at the 7. And Gentry, with good blocking from his special teams, gets the ball out close to the 30 at 23-yard gain. McMahon at quarterback. He's a great one when he's healthy, and he is now. Peyton might be the greatest ever. Matsui blocks for him, but he can do it all also. Catches and run it. Willie Galt's a burner at wide receiver. Has yet promise unfulfilled. McKinnon sure-handed. Emery Moore had an underrated tight end. The offensive line, Jim Covert, is now emerging as one of the best offensive tackles in the entire league. They think he's all pro. He's the key to the offensive line, and Bort's a free agent next to him, an excellent blocker also. They'll go to that side a lot. So McMahon brings the Bears out 1st and 10 at their 30. Opening play from scrimmage at Soldier Field in Chicago. Tippett left early, and a marker goes down as McMahon might have a free play. See what the call is. Andre Tippett, the truly excellent outside linebacker for New England, jumped offside, but we'll see if he was pulled off.
Bears tried to start with a screen to Walter Payton. Offsides defense, Andre Tippett. New England Patriots going to start with a blitz, which is what they do very well.
The Patriots starting a rookie, Garen Barris, they're very high on. He's from Stanford, a good pass rusher. Ken Sims might have had his best game as a Patriot last week in the win over Green Bay. Outside backers Tippett and Blackman each had 3 sacks each against the Packers. Good linebacking for New England. Secondary, little suspect in certain areas, but overall pretty sound. Claiborne's the best player back there. Roland James also a good one at safety. So now on the 5-yard assessment against the Patriots, it's 1st down and 5 for the Chicago Bears. 35-yard line of Chicago. 2nd back, Walter Payton. 1st down Bears as he's to the 42-yard line. At 120 yards last Sunday against Tampa Bay, now in his 11th year. Walter said he had trumped that 10,000-yard checkup on his knees, and he's ready to go.
Yeah, Mike Ditka has kind of promised Walter Payton that they would de-emphasize him a little bit in the offense this year, try to throw it around with Jim McMahon. So all Walter Payton does is account for about 150 yards last week against the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Every game, he extends his own rushing record, his all-time record. He's rushed for over 1,340 yards now in his career. 1st and 10 Bears. Running hard and running well is fullback Matsui of Penn devastator. He thunders up for a gain of 8. And it's 2nd and 2.
Notice that Walter Payton went to the bench. Doesn't appear to be an injury of any sort. This young man, Matsui, doesn't get an awful lot of press, but he's one of the reasons that Walter Payton has been such an excellent running back. He's in that lead blocking spot, and he can clear a hole for you.
Fred Marion, the free safety, made the hit, number 31. He's playing in place of Rick Sanford, longtime safety for the Patriots, who was cut this season. 2nd and 2, a quick throw and a completion for a first down, and McKinnon is inside the 35-yard line. Dennis McKinnon sprinting up the left flank, and a perfect lead from McMahon, a 16-yard gain for the Bears.
Don, Patriots show blitz on almost every single play. The outside backers, Blackman and Tippett. That's where the New England Patriots get most of their pass rush. A quick 3-step drop by Jim McMahon. No real pattern run by McKinnon, just up underneath the linebacker coverage, first down.
Bears put a lot of pressure on a defense, just like they put a lot of pressure on an offense with their defense. McMahon is an excellent player. He's 13 and 4 as a winning pitcher in the last 17 games. Payton back in, and he gets the football. Down to the 32-yard line. We're told that Walter Payton got a finger in the eye earlier, but he's all right. Can't hurt that man with an axe.
One of the most durable running backs I think the NFL has ever had. Steve Nelson, the veteran, on the tackle. And Walter Payton, with all the yards he's gained, you realize that he has never had a Pro Bowl offensive lineman in front of him. Jim Brown was afforded that great luxury. He's got offensive linemen in the Hall of Fame.
Right, a lot of them. The junior Bear, Mike Ditka, getting the recognition now as one of the outstanding coaches in the league. And here's McMahon on a rollout, 2nd and 8. They don't want him to run. McKinnon's up, and touchdown Chicago. Bears make it happen fast. A 32-yard play.
Fred Marion of the New England Patriots had the coverage. A half roll by Jim McMahon. This is bad news for the Patriots already. Last week in their victory over the Green Bay Packers, they had an outstanding performance, allowing just 146 passing yards. This drive by the Chicago Bears, very easy.
Now Butler's on the field to try the point after, and the rookie from Georgia gets it through. And so with 11:57 to play in the first quarter, the Bears go in front 7-0.
McKinnon scored the touchdown. He's now got on the day 2 catches for 48 yards from the end zone behind the defense. You see Suey out there leading, trying to protect McMahon against the pass rush. This is well thrown. Marion on the coverage. Good catch by McKinnon. 5 plays, 69 yards, just 3 minutes and 3 seconds.
Laser precision, a great play. It looked like the coverage was good, and McMahon with that touch puts it right on McKinnon's fingertips, and so the Bears come out quickly and take a 7-0 lead. Butler hits a high kickoff. This is Stefan Starring. Looks for blockers, and he does well, getting across and out close to the 29-yard line. Tony Eason, number 11 from Illinois, where he set 7 NCAA passing records, comes in to quarterback the Pates. Tim Reitman is a tight end, along with Derek Ramsey. They're going to start with 2 of them. Derwin Williams is starting as a wide receiver. They like him after the 5 catches against Green Bay. Greg James had a great game running the ball. Patriots have a lot of offense, but their offensive line right now is banged up. The great one, John Hanna, isn't in the game, as he wasn't last week. Eason on first down stands in and throws a strike out to the 47. Got the big league arm, does Tony Eason. That was good for 17 yards as he gunned the ball out on the flank, and coming down with it was Derwin Williams, the player they like so much.
Don, we mentioned that fearsome Chicago defense, but one of the things you can do against Chicago is throw the ball if you can avoid the pass rush. Eason there, a short 3-step drop. Good quick pattern run by Williams. There's the inside of that Chicago defense.
So the Patriots got a first down at the 47. Bears lead in the first quarter 7-0. Second back through was Tony Collins, and he runs the ball for very little as the Bears shut it down. Singletary, number 50, the middle linebacker, got him. He was the NFC Defensive Player of the Year. Otis Wilson and Marshall on the outside are almost as good. That's a real trio. The secondary At corners, Richardson and Frazier had some trouble covering last week against Tampa Bay. Then Frazier came up with a big play in the third quarter, ran one back for a touchdown and interception. It turned the game.
Chicago Bears just inserted their refrigerator.
One of my favorite guys.
William Perry, 13.5 pounds at birth, considerably more now.
Big William never lifted a weight or watched his own. Here is Tony Eason dropping to throw in the flat. He skips it.
Whoa.
Going for Craig James, and Tony Eason will get up off the bottom. He hit hard.
There's a lot of things about William Perry been printed here in the paper in Chicago. Buddy Ryan called him a wasted draft choice, but watch the sheer power of William Perry at somewhere around 330 pounds. My goodness gracious.
Weight unknown.
Yeah, he makes everybody out there look small, doesn't he? He's got a brother who weighs like 220, and they ask him, what'd you eat? And he said, we ate whatever William left us.
From the shotgun on 3rd and 8. And Eason does very well just to go down before he gets hit with a head-on shot from Singletary. The middle linebacker from Baylor coming untouched up the middle.
72 sacks last season by this defense, and almost 30% of them on players untouched. There's another one. Mike Singletary. Recognition by the New England Patriot offensive line is vitally important. And that time, you just can't turn anybody loose on a quarterback like that, but it happens so often against this defense.
Singletary, they show so many schemes rushing the passer under defensive coordinator Buddy Ryan. As we saw that time, there was nobody there between the quarterback and the middle linebacker who was a coming. Here's the punt now by Camarillo. Hits a spiral downfield. It'll be taken at the 15-yard line. Ken Taylor runs it back. He's up to the 26. And so there, the Bears in the lead 7-0 with 9:42 to play in the first quarter. Go back on offense for a second time. First scoring strike was a 35-yard touchdown pass play to Dennis McKinnon. We'll be back right after this. Back at Soldier Field on a beautiful day in Chicago. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. Bears lead in the first quarter 7-0. Now they have their second possession, going 1st and 10 from their 26-yard line. Carry straight ahead by Walter Payton is out to the 32-yard line. The score is starting to come in. Ken Anderson has thrown a touchdown pass to Stanford Jennings, and the Bengals lead the favorite St. Louis Cardinals at St. Louis 7-0 in the first quarter. Eddie Murray kicked a field goal for the Lions, and they lead the Cowboys 3-0 at Pontiac, Michigan. Dallas is a tough customer, though.
Yeah, especially against Washington. They ate them up on Monday night, didn't they?
44-14. Now it's second down and about 4 for Chicago. Suey, good execution by the Bears, and Matt Suey runs ahead to the 44-yard line. A gain on the play of 12 yards. Ronnie Lippett, one of the corners, knocked him down for the Patriots.
When you have a foe in the line of scrimmage like this, credit must go to the offensive line of the Chicago Bears. On this particular play, watch Andre Tippett. He's the weak side linebacker here. Pursues down the line, and then Keith Van Horn, 78, doing his job. Realizing the value of Tippett to that defense, just gives him a shove, and there's a nice pickup by Matt Suey, who now has 2 carries for 21 yards.
And the Bears have a first down at their 44. McMahon sprinting away from the rush, unloads. Walter takes it and goes out of bounds. There was little or no gain.
Karen Barris unloaded on Jim McMahon too.
I always liked Trump Matt Suey's assessment. He said the best backfield in the NFL, best backfield combination, is Walter Payton and anyone else. Washington, not in good humor after that loss at Dallas, has just gone in front. Theismann throwing to Calvin Muhammad for a 17-yard touchdown.
Here's the old and the new for the New England Patriots. Steve Grogan, for years the quarterback. Now he's kind of the professor for Tony Eason, the young man out of Illinois.
Second down and 9, Chicago from the Bears 45. Bears lead 7-0 in the first quarter. McMahon sends in, and Willie go. Takes the defense down and out. They've been tough on Willie, and the boos start to cascade down. He can run faster than anybody out there, but he's got what, 9.1 speed and 12-second hands so far.
Whoa. Let's watch Andre Tippett again. One of the things the New England Patriots must do is get Tippett free on the quarterback. Watch the little game he runs with Ken Sims. Comes inside, cut by Matt Suhey. So far, the Chicago Bears have neutralized Andre Tippett. That ball should have been caught, too.
But Galt will be free deep. You can bank on it. There's nobody out there that can run with him. But two people in the world as fast, and neither of them play for New England. Offside, the Patriots could have left early again. Here's a high ball and a stick put on McKinnon as the ball flies overhead.
And that will be on Tippett. That's the second time they've caught him offsides. Obviously, McMahon varying his snap count. And that time, the New England Patriots had 9 guys at the line of scrimmage. Taking a page from the Chicago Bears defensive thinking.
Offside, 56 defense, 3rd down.
So Tippett misfiring early in the game, but before it's over, he will have the quarterback. He's one of the great players in the league right now.
Yeah, and I think Jim McMahon has to be the only player in the history of the game to go out with a lacerated kidney last year. Missed the last half of the season on a hit against the Los Angeles Raiders. Now he's wearing a flak jacket. And the Bears have won 14 of 17 games he started. They want to keep him healthy.
Right now, McMahon directs with a 3rd and 4 coming up from midfield. Bears lead 7-0 first quarter. Payton in trouble and is knocked down for a loss. So Chicago will have to punt the ball to the Patriots with 8 minutes to play and the clock running in the first quarter. Maury Buford is in to punt now for Chicago. Newly acquired, came in and replaced the incumbent David Finzer, who was here last season. Finzer's seen enough of Maury Buford. When he was trying out for San Diego, Buford beat him out. Then he comes to Chicago, does the kicking, and Buford comes here. Bob Thomas, the longtime Bear kicker, place kicker, leading scorer in Chicago history, is now San Diego Charger. He signed as a free agent with them last week. Irving Fryer is back, a game breaker from Nebraska. High punt, knocked downfield as they angle for the corner. It skips in, and so the ball will come out to the Patriot 20. After a 51-yard punt, New England gets the ball trailing 7-0 with 7:17 to play in the first quarter. We'll be back to Soldier Field in Chicago after this.
On the field. First and 10 for New England.
Soldier Field in Chicago is sold out as the Bears look to go up 2-0 in the standings. But right now, New England trailing 7-0 goes to the offense on first down. Eason throwing on the outlet to Derek Ramsey. Now while we have a moment, let's go to Bob Costas.
Eason to Ramsey.
All right, Don, at RFK Stadium, the Redskins take a 7-0 lead on the Oilers' 17-yarder Theismann to Calvin Muhammad. A reminder, be with us at halftime. NFL 85 will have Kellen Winslow and William Andrews again, this time responding to Gale Sayers' assertion that modern players don't bounce back as quickly from injuries.
Be interesting to hear. 6:40 to play, first quarter. Patriots got 4 on that pass play. Eason's very quick, very sure of foot. Here's a long ball, and there's nobody within 30 or 40 yards of it. He had Jones running an out pattern, Cedric Jones. Detroit with a surprise over the favored Cowboys, now extending the lead. The Lions up 10-0. Eric Hipple threw a 21-yard touchdown pass to Jeff Chadwick. The Eagles owner said they were going to the playoffs, but so far it doesn't look that way. They've not scored through the first 5 quarters of the season.
Well, they may go to the playoffs, but it looks like they may have to buy a ticket.
Right. They're starting a rookie today, Randall Cunningham. Jaworski's on the pine.
Yeah, Jaws was not too pleased with that choice either.
Might be in there by halftime. 3rd down and a long 5 now as they go from the shotgun. Patriots give Eason time. He throws a pass that's dropped. Derwin Williams might have been looking for the sideline. He could have had that ball easily, though.
Well, the encouraging thing for the New England Patriots, though, Don, is that they have had receivers open.
From the 25.
And the offensive line has protected Eason enough for him to throw the ball down the field. Really haven't seen the Bears in just one time in that all-out 46 pass rush. And that time Mike Singletary got to him, but nevertheless, 4th down.
So Rich Camarillo, who was a Pro Bowl punter 2 years ago, had a lot of problems with injuries last year, is ready to kick it downfield to Ken Taylor. Big rush. Camarillo really lows. That's one of the all-time punts.
Look at this.
That's amazing. It goes into the end zone. line of scrimmage. 75-yard punt.
It'll list, though, at a 55 because it went into the end zone, and he kicked it from his own 15-yard line. Rich Camarillo actually had that in the air 85 yards, but it's a 75-yard gross punt, 55 yards net because it went into the end zone.
Now the Bears go again, leading 7-0 first quarter. Home run ball, Willie Gault. Can't quite get to it, but he was open. McMahon knew he had 6, and he had the ball a little bit closer to Willie Gault.
Rod McSwain on the coverage.
Ford Reves, another in the line of United Nations kickers for the Dolphins, hit a field goal. Miami leads Indianapolis 3-0. Garo Yepremian, Uwe von Schaumann, and now Ford Reves. McMahon has thrown 5 times, has completed 3 for Coach Ditka and his Bears. 49 yards and the 1 touchdown and 32-yarder to Dennis McKinnon. It's 7-0 Chicago as the Bears load up receivers on the left side. That's McKinnon in motion. Patriots might have left early again as they go to Walter Payton on a draw up the middle, and he is across the 25.
No flag. Steve Nelson, the linebacker, was able to get back. The Bears are trying to balance their offense. Last week, they ran the ball 34 times, passed the ball 34 times, which is highly unusual. The Chicago Bears were the only team in the NFC last year to rush for more yards than they passed for.
Defense gets the big press with this Chicago team, as you know, Trump, but really the offense with McMahon at the helm could take them maybe all the way. They're that good with McMahon in there. Last year, they needed to get very little points to win because their defense was so good, but McMahon can get them a lot. They came back last week when they were outscored early. Here's a throw, and McKinnon shows his heart coming across the middle. The man who caught the touchdown ball takes a double hit. Rod McSwain got him hard, but McKinnon is across the 30. He has a first down for Chicago. Last year, the Chicago Bears won every game they played in the regular season when they allowed 14 or fewer points, and they lost every game they played in the regular season when they allowed more than 14 points.
How about this? In 11 of the 16 games that the Bears played last year, their defense allowed their opponents less than 300 total yards of offense.
Right now, their defense is looking on. Chicago's offense has had the ball most of the time, and the Bears are leading 7-0. Payton out to the 35-yard line. One of the defensive coaches for the Patriots, Eddie Kaya, was telling us that not only the Bears come at you with that hard-nosed football, it's been a Chicago hallmark over the many decades, but also he says they have every gadget play known to man.
Yeah, that's true. Notice an injury apparently for the New England Patriots. Rod McSwain playing cornerback, replacing Ronnie Lippett. He was getting his ankle taped on the sideline. And of course that leaves just one defensive back left for the already injured New England Patriots, and that's Jim Bowman for the 5th defensive back.
Swain is
reverse.
Dennis McKinnon. He eludes one tackler. Blockers there. Now the Patriots stuff it.
Whoa! Andre Tippett.
Got a man throwing people down. Let's go to Bob Costas again.
Well, Don, apparently the Oilers could use tackling like that, but they don't have Andre Tippett. Watch this fine play by the Houston defense. George Rogers says, thank you very much. The play's not over. I'll go 31 yards. The point after was blocked. 13-0 Skins. Back to Cricky and Trumpy.
And the Skins apparently back on track after an embarrassment Monday night. What was it? It was Joe Theismann's birthday, and Dennis Thurman, one of the Dallas cornerbacks, said Joe was giving out the gifts on his birthday.
Yes, he was. The Dallas fans were singing happy birthday to him, too, with the score 44-14.
Through 5 interceptions. Jim McMahon throws. He's high, and those Patriots will hit a receiver when he comes into their area.
McMahon to Brad Anderson.
Brad Anderson was the intended receiver, so the Bears have to punt it again. After that opening drive when they took it into the end zone, they almost did in this one. You recall that near completion to Gault. Once he gets it, he can put 6 in the book.
I was rather surprised at that reverse call by the Chicago Bears. Another odd call to make at that position on the field.
Maury Buford in to punt again for Chicago. That's Irving Fryer back at his 20. 3:03 to play in the first quarter. A good punt by Buford. It can be very high. And Fryer is forced into a fair catch at his 26-yard line. 39-yard punt, but that's the net yardage also, as there's no return. So with 2:55 to play in the first quarter and the Bears in the lead 7-0, the Chicago defense comes out. The defense has been tough against some fine teams, two of the best in the West in the AFC.
Never lost to an AFC team here in Soldier Field, except for the Bengals, I believe, in overtime back in 1980. They like playing here at Soldier Field.
Bears have a string of 6 straight wins over AFC opponents here in Chicago. Eason stands in. What an arm he has. And Tony Eason fires out in the flank. Coming down with the ball and getting a first down on the play was Cedric Jones.
St. Louis ties the ball game up with Cincinnati. Neil Lomax, a 27-yard pass to Farrell. 7-7 now.
First and 10 for the Patriots. 37.
Eagles get on the board with a field goal. It's a 10-3 game. Veterans Stadium. First and 10 now for the Patriots, who trail late in the first quarter 7-0. Here comes Jesse Craig James, and the Bears aren't going to give him a thing. They're going to give him about a 5-yard deficit. Dave Dewerson starting at strong safety for the absent Todd Bell, a Pro Bowl strong safety who's holding out. Dewerson's come on, though, third-year player from Notre Dame, and Singletary's always coming on.
Yeah, this guy showed up late. He was a holdout, too, but he is a human projectile. Taking on Pete Bach there. That guy works every single down. He's kind of the inspirational leader of that defense, too.
Going wide to the right now is Starring. Derwin Williams on the left flank on 2nd and 14 for New England. Four-man rush. Eason lets her rip. Out throws his receiver and the coverage. You know he can put it about as far as Camarillo can kick it.
Starring can run under most of them, too. Last week in the opening game of the season for the Bear defense, they struggled somewhat, both offensively and defensively in the first half. But in the second half, they really got down on the Tampa Bay Bucks. They allowed only 95 total yards and 4 first downs in the second half. Pats have only 20 yards of offense so far today, Don.
Stanley Morgan, one of the great ones, is out in the flank now for the Patriots on the shotgun offense, 3rd and 14. Singletary. The Singletary. He missed the interception, as you saw. Then he figured that maybe James got it, so he was going to pop him good.
Well, James did a good job, Don, in making contact with Singletary. Saw him fumbling the ball a little bit there, wanted to make sure that he didn't catch it. James with a good reach. He sees the ball there. Now watch. He turns around, plays defender, make sure he can't go after it.
He saw the ball down. He just wanted to hit somebody anyway.
Yeah, well, you can't trust those linebackers.
This one's one of the great ones. 2 straight Pro Bowls. Leader of the defense, too. He tells people what to do out there.
Camarillo, 2 punts, a 60.5-yard average.
Bears almost had one player too many on the field. This time Camarillo hangs it high. Taylor comes over and it pops out of bounds at about the 32. Next Sunday, join NBC Sports for exciting football action as we continue our coverage of the 1985 football season. Most of you will see the Browns take on Tony Dorsett and the Dallas Cowboys, plus other regional action. Check your local listings for the game and the time in your area. The action gets underway with NFL 85 and host Bob Costas. Your team plays here, so kick off next Sunday again with NBC Sports.
Down for the New England Patriots, Ronnie Lippett back in the ballgame. Apparently whatever injury he had was not serious.
Bears in the lead with 2:21 to play in the quarter. Up the middle, a hard-charging fullback from Illinois, Kelvin Thomas, from the south side of Chicago at 245 pounds, getting a lot more playing time. Dennis Owens, the nose tackle, knocked him down along with Toby Williams for the Patriots.
Things have kind of slowed down here for the Chicago Bear offense. That opening drive, they had 69 yards, 5 plays, and 3:03. Now the Patriots defense is doing their job.
Raymond Berry on the sideline. He's much more active when he came in halfway through the season. Last year, he really let the offense and defense up to the assistants. This year, he's the offensive coordinator.
Look at his formation.
2nd and 6. Peyton looks for room to go, and the Patriots doing a good job filling the gaps with the linebackers. Steve Nelson was in the play along with Ken Sims.
One of the things you always have to watch with the Chicago Bears is their big playability. Jimbo Covert over on that other side going against Toby Williams, and it gets him on the ground. Board 62, the offensive guard, a converted defensive lineman in college, but the New England Patriots are doing a good job at the line of scrimmage.
Jimbo Covert, a great offensive tackle, only 25. He's the youngest captain in the NFL, playing left tackle for Chicago. Former #1 out of Pittsburgh. 3rd down and a long 4 now for the Bears. Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. McMahon's going to run, but not far enough. He got to the 40, needed to get to the 42. So the Bears, after scoring on their first drive today, a 32-yard touchdown pass to Dennis McKinnon from McMahon, have now been stopped their last 3 drives.
Ken Sims and Don Blackman there to make the tackle.
They're going to keep the offense in on 4th and short.
They're finally going to punt it now.
Now they're coming out.
Yeah, it does appear. They're just doing a good job defensively. But they've got to today, because the New England offense is going to have problems throughout the day with that 46 defense and all the pass rush. New England Patriots defense have to play an excellent game today to keep the ball club in the game.
And again, Irving Fryer is back deep for New England, this time at his 15-yard line. Hilford gets it off against a big rush. Fryer can go, but not here. A superb special teams play. Dennis Gentry, a running back, came down and, as you saw, got him ankle high. 38-yard punt, a 4-yard return. Had Gentry not made that play, Irving Fryer might still be running.
Patriots almost blocked that punt. Rod McSwain, a defensive back, was untouched and right in the face of the punter. That would have been a big play for the New England Patriots, one that you need to make in a game like this against a quality opponent. Chicago Bears did play in the NFC Championship game last year.
Coach Dick seems a little exercised with McMahon.
Yeah, he can dish out some exercise.
Here's a throw and a completion on the last play of the first quarter. Tony Collins coming out of the Patriot backfield. And that's the end of the first quarter with the score: Chicago 7 and the Patriots nothing.
That's the end of the first quarter.
The Chicago Bears jumped off to that 7-0 lead. It looked like the Patriots were going to be in trouble, maybe in the midst of a blowout front, but they've come right back with good defense.
Well, the pressure is on the offensive line of the New England Patriots to protect Easton. So far, they've done that. The pressure is also on the defense of the New England Patriots to at least make it tough for the Chicago Bears to score. And that first drive notwithstanding, they've done that pretty good, too. Look at the time of possession, though. 11-3. My goodness.
Not going to get in the end zone with -2 yards.
Yeah. Last week they rushed for 208 yards. So far the Chicago Bear defense is doing a pretty good job against New England.
Here's Eason standing in, gets some time, lofts it out, and Derek Ramsey comes down with the ball. Set a Patriot team record with 66 receptions last year. They're doing a good job, and the Bears have been coming with the 4-man rush. Patriot blocking has been excellent. They've really given Eason some time. It's when Singletary and Wilson start to come from the linebackers that he's pressured.
12 yards on the catch, and you're right. So far, they haven't really put those 8 or 9 guys up at the line of scrimmage, probably out of respect to Tony Eason's arm and the speed of the wide receivers of the New England Patriots. They got some burners on this team.
Patriots with about their best field position in the ball game so far, out to their 42. James running, penalty marker in as he's hit at the 50. Scott Norwood just kicked a 32-yard field goal at Giant Stadium, where the Buffalo Bills have taken a 3-0 lead over the New York Jets.
We got holding on the New England Patriots.
So that good field position ends right now.
Don.
Holding, 58 offense, first down.
Pete Brock, the center, on Dan Hampton, number 99. So far, this game has not had the pace that I thought it would have.
What were you looking for?
Well, a lot more activity out of the Chicago Bear defense. A little more running out of the New England Patriots offense, -2 yards. That's one of the staples of the New England offense.
Bears have gotten a little conservative, I think, because their corners were getting beat last week by Tampa Bay. They were behind 28-17 at the half, so they've shown less blitz. That time they came with a blitz, but leaving early was Otis Wilson. All three Chicago linebackers, Wilson, Singletary, and Marshall, in the true Bear tradition.
We have an illegal snap on 58 offense.
Good.
First down.